in a short amount of time. Ooh, getting really close to death with an emergency bag. So how is CoNDOR structured? Well, this is an MMR matchmaking based tournament, with the finals being a double elimination bracket for participants with the top 8 MMR by the end of the season. Anyone is welcome to join, and players can join and quit during the beginning of the weeks that the tournament is running. The hidden MMR is assigned to you based on your speedrun PB, and if you are new to the tournament, or if you have been in the tournament before and have shown significant skill in the speedrunning community. At the beginning of the week, all participants are given 2 to 3 matches depending on the number of racers, and they will be similar to your skill level. Participants may also challenge any racer of any MMR as long as both racers agree and have not challenged each other already. The races are a set of 3, not a best of 3. So every race will have 3 races. Simply put, if you win, your MMR goes up, and if you lose, it goes down. Racer MMR is split into arbitrary tiers to know where they are in relation to the other participants. The top 8 are in Crystal tier. This is where the racers are playing nearly perfectly, with each step being towards the exit or being very efficient with kills. Average times at this tier is around 6:30 to 8 minutes. And with some god seeds, you can even see sub 6s. Dying at this level in the mid to late game is almost an automatic defeat. Racers will likely be taking similar routes, and it's a matter of who is more efficient with their build. Depending on the number of participants, the next 8 to 12 racers are in the Obsidian tier. Racers at this level are very close to Crystal tier racers, with occasional hiccups in floor traversal slowing them down, such as a lack of AoE versus a single attack high damage build. Average times in this tier is around 7 to 9 minutes, and with some god seeds you might even see sub 6 minute times. Next, 8 to 12 are in Titanium tier. Racers in this level are very adaptable to builds, but lose time to either inefficiencies or occasionally mismapping it and going the wrong way. Dying in this tier is not guaranteed to be a loss, but racers in this level are aware of when to play slow and safe when their opponent has died. Average times in this tier are around 8 to 10 minutes, with some god seeds, they can turn them into sub 7s. The next 8 to 12 after that are in gold tier. Racers at this level have many different playstyles, and in general are either the turtle or the hare. What I mean by that is they could either go too fast and die, or they could go so slow that their opponents get too big of a lead to come back from. Average times in this tier is around 9 to 12 minutes, with some god seeds going to a sub 8. Everyone else that is not in gold are in the blood tier. This is where people are placed if they are either new to the tournament, have no information of their skill, or they are brand new to racing. Deaths are very common, so the race is never over until somebody gets the victory screen and goes down the final stairs. The average times in this tier is 12 to 20 minutes, with some god seeds ending into a sub 10. Or god forbid they get an unplayable seed, it can go up to 1 whole hour. Oh my god, that seed took so long for me to cast. For this reason alone, we allow racers to reseed if both players agree. Your tier placement is only relative to others in the tournament. That means even if you win a lot, you may not promote if the racers around you are also winning more, or you don't pass the person that is just above you in MMR. That also means that there is no specific threshold to promote to the next tier. For example, reaching 1500 MMR does not automatically promote you to Titanium or demote you to Gold. This is common if racers are bouncing between tiers and are sitting on the line between two tiers like Crystal and Obsidian. In this tournament, screen watching is allowed. This means you are allowed to watch your opponent's POV to see where you find items, pathing to the exit, upcoming bosses, and if your opponent died. The last note is helpful because it can let you know to play slow to avoid dying, or speed up if your opponent is leaving you in the dust. Therefore, racers are required to stream on Twitch for screen watching and to verify the integrity of the run, and if there is a commentator, a POV for them to talk about. By the way, I also stream this game on twitch.tv/focusingface. Since there is varying stream delay, racers will also be in a separate Discord race room to confirm if they are ready, if they are finished, or if they need to contact CoNDOR staff. Run verification is also required if both racers confirm finish very close to each other, about 5 seconds, and will require referee verification. In more recent races, when the Synchrony DLC is included, this is less required due to the fact that the racing mod also adds a real-time time in addition to in-game time. Both racers will enter the seeded race there to ensure they are running the same seed. Counting numbers is hard, so in later races with Synchrony, we can verify using the sequence of items on the screen instead. If the race begins and the racers are not in the same seed, there will be a reseed. That is the basics of the tournament. Now let's get back into the— Wait, one more thing. We need to figure this out. What's the difference between the CoNDOR main event compared to the side event? The MMR? Same. The finals? Same. Joining and quitting? Same. There will probably be less auto matches due to lower signups, but the matches will still be a set of 3. You can still challenge people though. Also, there are no tiers. There's not enough racers to divide them into tiers. Other than that, everything else is the same. And in case it wasn't obvious, side events are any characters that's not cadence. Okay, now let's get on to the video. Alright, old video had really bad audio, so I'm gonna do it myself now. We got Paratroopa and Warachia and a lock shop. Probably just gonna take the strength torch, maybe the black cat, maybe the rapier, or maybe none of them. Both of our racers are down to death metal, and we've got 2 very different strategies. Paratroopa here is going to be using just a longsword, and that is going to be a lot slower compared to Warachia's method. They are hitting death metal just once, transforming into a bat, and then hitting them a 3rd time, and this will skip the 3rd phase. Both racers are going to check purple and find a frost ring. I don't think either of them want that though. On the way to the exit, Paratroopa gets windspelled into a purple mushroom with a 1-beat reaction and almost dies, and now has to recover on the next floor. Both of our racers make it to Deep Blues 2. Warachia's method is to get past the pawn line, use the cutlass and the Ring of Frost to freeze the king so that he can kill the king before he teleports. And he finds a torch of walls, which is not necessary. Paratroopa also makes it to Deep Blues 2. Rather than doing the same method, Paratroopa decides to full clear rather than hitting the king directly, and also does not get the flawless. Both racers find the Shriner, bomb all 3 shrines, get a good dragon spawn, swap off of the Frost Ring for Ring of Regen, and then after the fight, grabs the black chest for the quartz armor. The race is neck and neck now, but now we're going to see some seed variants. Paratroopa decides to bomb the shopkeeper and take all the items. Meanwhile, Warachia nearly dies during the fight at the exit room and then just buys the items in the shop. Both of our racers approach Fortissimo 3, however, neither of them get the flawless. Warachia mistimes the movement of the fire elemental and walks right into it. Meanwhile, Paratroopa takes a hit directly from Fortissimo falling off stage, therefore neither of them get the flawless chest. A crowded exit in Zone 4 and cat priority gives trouble for Paratroopa as they nearly die due to Blade Master priorities. Meanwhile, Warachia took a really good telemonkey. And is showing good use of cat priority, sweeping through the exit. However, to make up for it, Paratroopa shows how strong the cat can be in a speedrun. During the final phase of the Frankenstein Way fight, Paratroopa was not able to see the floors that were electrified coming in time, forcing them into an emergency bat form, and then on their way to the stairs, they missed their input of early stairs, therefore causing them to transform on the floor, causing them to end their own run. As Warachia finishes the first race, with a final time of 9:44.
Give me that loot!
Yeah!
Both of our racers find a boss shrine in the very first zone. Paratroopa decides to take it, opting to keep the obsidian spear. Warachia does not want to interact with it and decides to go down the trapdoor. Paratroopa walks into a black skeleton and almost dies again. Both racers find a crate room with spiked ears, ring of might, and a map, improving both of their builds substantially. And this is where we see the seed variants come into play. Para's Zone 5 bleed is closer to the exit room, while Warachia's Zone bleed is closer to the starting room. Para also has another near-death experience despite picking up the potion in bat form. Both racers flawless Fortissimo in basically the exact same way. Except Paratroopa takes Earth Spell from a purple chest. Para tries to catch up with Warachia, but due to the snaggy nature of the spear, it is very difficult, putting them in another near-death scenario once again. This also means that he has to slow down so that they don't die, while Warachia can tank a couple of hits in order to make it to the exit safer. So both racers have made it to the conductor. Paratroopa has managed to catch up, but I'm gonna let the race speak for itself. Look how close this is. Warachia manages to pull through, mostly because they had good spawns, whereas Paratroopa did not and had to play safe by not getting hit. Warachia finishes with an in-game time of 9:54.
The loot is mine!
Haha.
Both of our racers are going to get the lucky charm here, or are they? Paratroopa chooses the wrong gold pile to wait on top of, and does not get the lucky charm. This is because the leprechaun spawns on the most recent unoccupied 50 gold pile. At this point, I think Paratroopa has had enough, because they have made a lot of silly mistakes in an otherwise simple exit room, forcing them into bat form. And I think they're just gonna wait this one out. Warachia manages to get a flawless Coral Rift with the Nocturna strat. And grabs a pair of sunglasses. And if you thought his luck couldn't get any worse, Warachia finds the Courage Shovel in the shop, which is just gonna make his run even faster. Well, at least Warachia doesn't have armor, right? So he could still. Are you? Wow. And there's a food shop too. Okay, this run is over. Okay, yep, there it is. Warachia finishes the third and final race with an in-game time of 10:53.